Hey everyone, it is Jazz from 103.5 Kiss FM, Chicago's #1 hit music station, and you are listening to On the Mic Podcast with Jacob Lee.
On the Mic Podcast.
Okay, so I'll have you introduce yourself first, just a quick little intro, what you do and who you are, for those who don't know who you are, and yeah.
Oh yeah, I know nobody knows me. But no, seriously. So my name is Jazz, and today I am on the mic podcast with Jacob Lee. Really excited to be here. So I am Jazz on 103.5 Kiss FM in Chicago. We're Chicago's #1 hit music station, and I am also the host of the Brilliantly Black podcast, which is a podcast it lives on the iHeartRadio app, and I pretty much just interview all of Chicagoland's Black-owned business owners. It's all about highlighting Black-owned businesses, giving them resources, and just putting the highlight on them that they don't always get, anywhere else. So yeah. I love doing that. And I also am 1/3 host and producer of the Midday live show. That is a live cast that I do with two of my coworkers here, Steve and Isaiah. Shout out to them. And that's pretty much where we just, discuss entertainment, pop culture, lots of funny little topics. And sometimes we actually have guests as well, like industry guests, chefs, artists, actual artists, actors, actresses. We dabble in everywhere. As long as you're creative of some sort, we love having them on the show, and they get to tell their stories about how they started, where they are now. Kind of like this. So
yeah, awesome.
That's Jazz. That's what I do.
That's awesome. I like that. That's
Thank
awesome
you.
That it's keeping you busy, and that the radio is keeping you busy, and as you said, the podcast and that midday thing. That's awesome. That you're staying busy and all that. It's good to be busy a little bit, so that's good.
No, it is. Yeah, I remember when I first started here at iHeart. I'm sure I don't want to go too far past. You might ask me about that, but yeah, just real quick. I remember when I started, I had this dream of being on air. So it was when events would sometimes slow down, because I started in promotions, when the events would slow down and I wasn't really doing anything here, I felt weird, and I was just I feel like I'm not busy enough, I'm not doing enough things in the field and what I want to be doing. So I'm happy to be on the mic here on this podcast and on the mic in general.
That's good. And then the first question is, when you were a kid, did you even imagine you would be in radio today?
No, I didn't. When I was a kid, I was a theater kid, what we like to call theater kids. So I went to theater camp for 3 or 4 summers in a row when I was 9 or 10. And I fell in love with just drama and theater. So I knew I wanted to be in entertainment when I grew up, but I wasn't exactly sure. I was I don't know if I want to be a host or an actress. I'm not sure. But I always knew I wanted to be in entertainment. And then I was also I grew up as a fan of music. And my music taste was always very different. And, I had a lot of variety, a lot of spice in it. So I never imagined that I would end up being a radio personality. But when I really think about it, it feels like it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I was listening to the radio all the time as a kid, especially Radio Disney. I'm so sad that they're not a thing anymore.
Same.
I loved Radio Disney.
Me too.
I would listen to that top 40 or something every Sunday. That was my thing right there. So,
and the whole mix show too, that Friday mix show, whatever.
Yes.
And the Total Request Now, whatever.
I know.
That one was amazing.
I know. Those were the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days.
I know, right?
I'm happy that we both loved listening to Radio Disney and all that. That's amazing.
Yes.
Great.
I'm telling you, Jacob, I have not found too many people that used to listen to Radio Disney. I'll tell that to them and they'll be like, what? You listen to Radio Disney? Yeah, it was popping back then. It really was.
It was. Then how did you get started in radio?
So how I got started and when I got started, it'll be 4 years next month on February 11th. So I started here at iHeart in 2019, and I started on the promotions team, aka the street team. So, we would just, go out to events and, talk to the people, give out prizes, tickets, help the personalities, drive the event, take pictures, post them on social media, just have fun with everyone. So that is how I started. And then we actually had a little hiccup, of course, because of the pandemic. So there were no events going on pretty much everywhere, but especially in Chicago, really big city. There were no events going on. So they held on to us for a long time. But they were we're going to have to let you guys go because we don't know when we're going to get back. Yeah. And it's it was so sad. Me and my coworkers were all sad and bummed out. But we always had a feeling that maybe whenever they're able to let us back, that they will. So in the meantime, me and one of my coworkers, Steve, we joined together on a podcast that is now the Midday Live Show. And we were like, just in case we ever get a chance to come back, at least they can see that we still had the passion. We were still doing it, you know, even while we weren't here. So fast forward to 2021, the summertime, me and him both got rehired as promo techs again. And we were super excited about that. Then fast forward to January of last year, I got promoted to the office coordinator here at iHeart. So I also do that. And about 2 months later, super random, I got my chance to be on KISS, and that'll be a year in March. So
oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
congrats,
it was amazing.
On that.
Thank you. I've been having the time of my life. Seriously, being on KISS FM is awesome. It really is.
It's like a legendary station or something like that, like C100. That's awesome. Congrats on that. Welcome.
Thank you.
Anytime.
I have so much fun. Like, they let me be myself. I tell corny jokes. I make SpongeBob references all the time.
That's
and it's
awesome.
like they just let me be me. Yeah, I love it.
That's good. That's awesome that they let you be you and that they let you do that stuff on you and all that. That's awesome.
That's important. It really is.
Yeah, it is. That's good. And then, quick little thing I want to ask you. Like you said, you do the office still a little bit, like the office coordinator. What is that like a little bit doing that?
So pretty much with the office coordinator, I am here Monday through Friday, and when I come in the morning, you know, I make coffee. I make sure the break room is looking all good, and we have so many snacks, Jacob. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to send you a picture of our break room because I have to keep everything stocked. Yes, it's amazing. We have a nacho cheese machine, so I have to, you know, I know, right? So yeah, I keep that all stocked up. I take care of the mail. Anytime there are meetings, I book the room or the time, and you know, I just help out with office stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I've been doing that for a little over a year.
That's cool. That's awesome that you get to do that. That sounds like a fun little job to do. For
it's nice. I can't complain. Being at a radio station 5 days out of the week, I can't complain, you know?
Yeah, and you get to do on air too. That's also an awesome thing.
Yes.
That's awesome. I like that. And then
thank you.
Anytime. Then what's your favorite thing about getting to work for iHeartMedia? What do you like about that?
There are a lot of things, but I want to say one of the very most favorite things is the people here. The people at iHeart, I have been here almost 4 years, but even 2 years ago, I found that some people, some of my coworkers, even some higher ups, they really do want to help you. They'll ask you, what is it that you want to do? What are you interested in, in the future? We know this is just a stepping stone, or do you plan on, this just being temporary? They really want to help you. And your coworkers, if you let them, of course, if you guys gel or whatever, they'll become your family. They really will become family. So I would definitely say working at iHeart, it's always fun. We're always throwing lots of quirky little events here. We have a Super Bowl coming up in a couple weeks where everyone makes their own soup, and it's a big contest with prizes and everything.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It's the morale around here is always really high. So I really love that. The family environment, and everyone is just, fun and mostly friendly. Mostly.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I like that.
Me too.
What do you love about getting to be on air on 103.5 KISS FM? What do you like about getting to be on air and all that?
Everything. So like I said earlier, I really love that I'm going to shout them out, Brady and James Howard. They really let me be myself. As I said earlier, they believe in me, for giving me the chance, period, because I had never been on the radio before.
Yeah.
Never. All I had done was podcasts. So they really took a chance on me. They are constantly mentoring me and making sure, I'm good. I get everything that's going on. I'm constantly learning and improving. And another thing that I love the music that we play. I know that probably sounds biased. Yes, of course I like the music. It's the station I'm on. But I think that we have a really nice mixture. And as I said earlier, that's always been the music taste that I like. It's very broad in a nice mix. So I really like that the top 40 format is different in a variety.
Yeah.
And the listeners are just great. They're always high energy and really nice.
That's good. Top 40 music. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I like that. And then what do you like about getting to work with your coworkers? What do you like about that?
Well, yeah, definitely. As I said, some of them have definitely become my family members. Some of my best friends I met here at iHeart, and that's something that money can't buy. Those like genuine relationships that you build with people, and knowing that, you know, you can hang out with them outside of work, or you can confide in them in something that has nothing to do with work. And yeah, it's like, that's the most amazing part. And then when we have like really big events like Kiss FM's Jingle Ball or WGCI's Big Jam, we all get to like work together in the same space, and we have like a super long day together. Yeah, but it's like, we're like family, so we always have fun and work hard, of course, make sure we have a great and successful event. But yeah, the people here are amazing.
That's good.
I love iHeart.
That's awesome. Now, a lot of like people can say that like that they have like an awesome job, and that like that they're like family, like the coworkers that they work with, like all family. So that like, a lot can say that. That's awesome. That you have that like relationship like with your coworkers, like with some of your coworkers. You said that's awesome, like that.
Yeah, I am like extremely blessed for one to be, you know, in a company that I can only dream of working for, to be doing like everything that I love, and I get a bonus of, you know, great people to work with. Yeah, as you said, a lot of people don't have all three, you know. Yeah, it's hard to find.
It's awesome. It's awesome they took like a chance with you. Like you said, like you didn't like have like any like radio experience. So and that like, you do like podcasts and all that. So that's awesome that they did that, and now you're on there and all that. And it's amazing. I will forever be grateful to them, because they took a chance on me when nobody else would. I used to apply to all types of places like around the country, like small markets, because that's what people told me around here. Like some of the on-air talent that had been here for like a long time, they were like, oh, if you want to be on air, you might have to start in a smaller market. You might not be able to start here. So I was like, yeah, that's true. So I was applying all over the place, Jacob, and they were like, no. So it's kind of crazy how the universe works, and it's like I was exactly where I was supposed to be the entire time. I just had to wait. You know, I just had to be patient. That's good. Like that. And then what do you like about getting to like do a show from like, I'm not sure if you still like do like 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., but if you like still do, what do you like about that?
Well, the 4 to 6 a.m. crowd, yes, I'm sorry I didn't mention that. I'm on Kiss on weekends 4 to 6 a.m. So I think it's really funny, like when I think about who I'm talking to, because they always told me when I first started, like, always think about who your audience is. Where would they be? What are they doing? So Saturday and a Sunday between 4 to 6 a.m. in Chicago, I'm like, they're probably out partying or coming home from the club or from a late night at a friend's house, or some people might even, you know, be getting up early for work or just going for a run, whatever. But what they really want and what they need in that instance, whether they are, you know, as I say, going home drunk or just getting up for a run, they need that energy regardless. So it's like, bringing them energy and my personality and, you know, my jokes and everything like that. I love that, because I feel like I really connect with them.
Yeah, that's good. Like that.
Thank you.
Welcome. Anytime. Then do you think it's like important to go to college to be like to be a radio DJ? Do you think that's an important thing? What's your opinion on that?
I think I saw one of your other interviews, and she said something like, you know, people take a lot of different paths to get to like where they want to be. And for me personally, I did go to college. I went to Hampton University in Virginia, but I didn't finish. I only did 3 years. So it's like I was there for broadcast journalism, so I was learning a lot. You know, I took a lot of knowledge from there, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary for you to, you know, because a lot of people will be like, you need to have a degree to be able to do anything or go anywhere with anything. But I feel like I'm living proof, and a lot of other people, that it's not true. Like, as long as you have a passion for it, you know, study on your own. You don't always have to study in a school environment. There's plenty of like free knowledge out there on the internet and books. Like, just, you know, put knowledge on yourself. Find mentors. Like around here, when I was on the promo team, like I would talk to Beyonce Fox from V103 and Maris from Rock 95.5. Like, just talk to people. And I feel like those connections and building the relationships, it can almost get you as many opportunities as a degree, like networking alone.
Yeah, I like that.
Both are important, but I feel like do what's best for you, for sure.
Yeah, it's good to like connect with other like radio DJs and ask ask them questions if you have anything. And
yeah, exactly.
I like that. Then, do you think interning is also like a good thing to do? If there's like interning positions or something like that, do you think that's like will help?
Yeah, definitely. Because when I first started here in promotions, I remember a few years, I think before I started, somebody was telling me that position used to be like the intern position. So it was pretty much the same thing. So wherever you can get your foot in the door, I would say get your foot in the door. Yeah. And if you end up, just kind of, peeping the scene and you're like, okay, I like it here. I can see myself really growing with this company and with these people. Then you keep putting your foot in the door. You keep showing up to work. You keep working hard. You keep networking. And then eventually your whole body will be in the room, not just your foot.
I like that. And then what's your favorite thing about getting to connect with the listeners? What do you like about that?
Well, I really like that I am still very new, on KISS. It hasn't been a year yet. It's only been 10 months. So I really feel like the Chicago audience has really welcomed me. Like they've kind of accepted me with open arms because I know, KISS is a super popular station. Never been on the radio before. They were probably like, who is this girl? But I'm from the south side of Chicago. So what I really, really, really love the most is that I am from Chicago on the radio in Chicago. And I get to I feel like I'm talking to, my city, the city that I grew up in and that I love so much. So it's just like, it means something different, to be from here and actually make it here.
I like that. That's awesome.
Thank you. Got to put on for the South Side.
And then, do you have like any tips or something like that, like for getting hired for iHeart for those who want to try to get a job or try to get the foot through the door to be a DJ? Do you have any tips or anything that you recommend for getting hired or anything like that?
Yeah. So if you're trying to go for iHeart or any radio station just to get your foot in the door, I would definitely say pay attention to your social media. Because I feel like a lot of people kind of put that, sweep it under the rug or think it might not be as important. But employers, especially in this industry, are looking to see, Instagram is almost another form of your resume when you really think about it in this industry specifically. They'll look at your Instagram or your Twitter or anything and they'll be like, well, what does this person do? So if you're, posting about a bunch of irrelevant stuff that has nothing to do with what you want to do, they just gonna be like, oh, okay, she or he is probably not really serious about this. So I would say definitely, I used to do YouTube videos and, I was just talking about funny stuff or entertainment stuff. So that would add up. I started doing podcasts. And then when I first came in for my interview, I made sure that I let my personality show. I was energized and I was showing that I was ready. Cause they were like, are you sure, you know what the position is? They were like, it's heavy lifting. It's, the very starter position. And I was like, absolutely. Cause you never know how you can grow with a company and what can happen. So you cannot be afraid to start at the beginning.
I like
just
that.
climb up. It's possible.
I like that. That's awesome. And then what position do you recommend starting off in first?
I would say if you want to be, I think her name was Hannah. I think she said this too. If you want to be on air, I think it's really a good position to start in promotions or the street team because you get to see how the events go for how you eventually might be the host. It might switch around. You'll be the host and you already know how all of that goes. You'll have a first-hand experience or really a second-hand experience of how events are ran, what the clients want, what your bosses want, how a successful event looks to them. And you'll already know because you've worked it 100 times. So once the tables are turned and you're the one with the mic, you're like, oh, this is easy. Got it.
Yeah, that's good. Like that. And then do you think having a social media account is important? If you want to be a radio DJ, do you think that's important?
Yeah, definitely. It's important. I wouldn't say until you really get into it longer, I would say the amount of followers isn't really that important. It's not really the amount. As I say, it's more so the content and what you're putting out there. The account really comes on down the line when you're looking at sponsorships, endorsements. But in order to get things like that, you definitely have to have a social media and keep it up and post content. And sometimes it gets a little tiring. You're like, I don't want to post today. I don't feel like it. But you got to do what you got to do, because once people, you never know who might notice you and be like, oh, well, I might like him or her for, you know, my brand to do this, or let me reach out to her programming director and she could do this for me. Like, you never know. So I definitely think keeping your social media up and just being really intentional about what you post. It's important.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. And then, what's your favorite thing about getting to, like, interview artists? And, what's your favorite thing about that?
I think just, like, relating to them. Because sometimes I think a lot of people, and even I've done this, like, in the past, like, a long time ago, I would see a celebrity, and you kind of think of them as, like, a different person. You know, that you guys aren't really on the same level because, they, you know, they're famous or they have like this many followers and, you know, but at the same time, I've noticed that a lot of those people just want to be talked to like a regular person, you know?
Yeah, because we're all human beings and all that.
Exactly. So it's like when you just have like genuine, chill conversations with them, it's like you realize they kind of like, they brighten up, they loosen up a little bit, and they're like happy because they're getting talked to like a human being. So I would say just relating to them and making sure that they are getting to promote everything that they got going on. That puts a smile on my face because I know it makes them happy getting their stuff out there. So I love highlighting people and that are doing good things and talented, genuine people. Love that. So I love what you were doing, by the way, Jacob. This is awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Thanks. I don't like, I hear like that stuff a little bit of like lately I haven't like been mentally haven't been in like a good place and all that. Like, I appreciate you like saying that to me and all that. Thank you.
It's important to hear that from people because, you know, as you said, we can get stuck sometimes in like our moments, our moods, and you're just like, you know, yes, so-and-so may have said like a while ago that I'm doing a good job, but am I really? So it's like when you get that reinforcement, that positive reinforcement from other people, you're like, wait, I am really doing a good job. So, of course, I will always do that.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
And then, do you want to share like a little bit like about that midday live show thing like that you do, and also what do you like also getting to be like the host and producer on it as well? What do you like about that?
Yeah, so the midday live show is kind of like my baby. I feel like midday live show is my baby because, as I said, during the pandemic, like lockdown, is when me and Steve were on another podcast. It was called something else, and then we actually rebranded, got a new host. This was October of 2021. So that's something we've been working on for like a really long time. The first podcast, this was like 2020. So it's now almost like 3 years old in total. So I just feel like we've been working on it for like a really long time and trying to build like all these really good segments. Like Steve has all these crazy stories that he tells because he's also a DJ. So he's DJ'd a bunch of different places, bunch of events. He has plenty of stories. I have my corny jokes. I always tell them on the midday live show as well, not just Kiss. I spread the jokes around. Isaiah, he is also a DJ here on WGCI, and it's like us just bringing all of our personalities together. Like I love doing that every Friday. And as I say, it's a live cast. That's something that I really like about our pod because we get like people commenting and we get to like live interact with them like while we're doing it. So the midday live show is amazing. I hope you guys will tune in one day every Friday at 11:30 a.m. to 1:30, and we're on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Just search the midday live show, and our Instagram is at the midday live show.
That's awesome. I like that. Definitely check out too. I have some time and all that. That'd be good.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we have some really good episodes, some really good guests. We interviewed I don't know if you know Hey Tony TV, the comedian that makes like all those
I heard of that.
He makes like all these skits with like the wigs, and he would like act like he was in high school as a principal. Yeah, those were.
That sounds cool.
He's hilarious. So that was a really good one. And as I said, actresses, chefs, people from MasterChef, like it's awesome.
That's awesome. I like that.
Thank you. Welcome. Check it out if you can.
I'll link it down in the description of the podcast. So that'd be good. And then, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Ooh, I would have to say chocolate. And don't judge me, because it is, right? But so many people will be like, plain chocolate is so nasty. Like, I've heard that thousands of times from people. And I'm just like, what ice cream are y'all eating? Because plain chocolate is so good to me. I love anything with chocolate. But, plain chocolate will always be a hit in my book.
Yeah. And vanilla too. Vanilla, plain vanilla is also a good one too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your favorite?
And yeah, plain vanilla. I like the Costco ice cream one. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then I also have another one. It is called Cake Batter from Cold Stone. That one's a good one.
Yes. That one's really good. I've had that.
I have to have like my rainbow sprinkles, cake batter with the rainbow sprinkles, and then it's all for me. So, yeah.
You're doing it right, Jacob. You're doing it right.
Thanks.
Of course.
And then, what do you think radio will be like in 5 to 10 years?
I think it is going to grow a lot. I think radio is something that will never really like die out because there's always going to be new music. There's also always going to be concerts, and you know, radio stations always get the tickets for free, and you know, we have to give them out some kind of way. But I really think that podcasting and digital is about to go up a lot in the next 5 to 10 years. But radio is something that's always going to be around because people still like that human interaction. Even if you can't always see us when you're listening to us on the radio, it's like you still feel like you have that friend in the car or at the gym, wherever you're listening. Like you still have that friend and you still have that interaction. Like, I know Jazz. Like, Jazz did this last week, and you know, I called into the show the other week and told her about my weekend or whatever. Like, people will always, I think, need that and enjoy it because I know we do. So I think it's going to be great.
That's good. And then, who in radio would you like to give a shout out to?
Ooh,
it can like be a mentor or anything like that. Like,
Well, I would definitely have to. I have so many because I love like so many people here. So for one, I'll do one big one. Shout out to everyone here at iHeartMedia Chicago. Y'all are amazing. But I want to give a shout out to Beyonce Fox. I know I mentioned her earlier on V103. I believe her shift is 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays. She is just so uplifting and so motivational. Like, she was there when I remember when I had the meeting that I was told that I'm going to be on air. She was one of the first people that I ran and told. And she was just like, what? Like, she was over the moon excited for me. And she was like, if you need anything at all, you have any questions, like, come to me. Don't worry about it. Text me if you don't see me in the studio, like anything you need. And she was like, you got this. You're going to be awesome. And I didn't know. I was like, I mean, hopefully I'm going to be great, but I don't know because, you know, I never done it before. So I was like, it's going to be challenging. But Beyonce Fox was there for me, and big shout out to her. She's amazing. So
that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome that she was the first one that you told, and like that. Like,
other than my mom, you know.
Yeah. That's amazing that like she like told you like if there's like anything you need, like reach out to her. So yeah, that's awesome that you have like that person like in your life. Like if you like need to reach out to her, like any questions or anything.
Yeah, because there's not always going to be people like that. They would just be like, oh, you're on your own, figure it out.
Yeah. Like that. And then one last important question is, where can everyone follow you and listen to you on?
Yes. Okay. So let me make sure I don't forget anything. You can follow me at Jazzer So Fierce. It is right there for you guys. That's Jazzer So Fierce. That's my Instagram. My Twitter is just Jazzer Fierce. And you can listen to me on 103.5 Kiss FM, Chicago's #1 hit music station, on the iHeartRadio app, or if you're in Chicago, of course, just go to 103.5. That is every weekend, 4 to 6 a.m. And Mondays, every Monday on the iHeartRadio app, we drop a new episode of the Brilliantly Black podcast, so you can always check that out. And the Midday Live show is every Friday from 11:30 to 1:30 Central Time, and that is on YouTube. Just search the Midday Live show.
Okay, that's awesome. Hey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.